In this 25th anniversary year of September 11th, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation continues to honor America's heroes. Heroes like Fire Lieutenant Michael Wells, who was inspired by 9/11 to serve his community. After 14 dedicated years of service, he lost his battle with occupational cancer, leaving behind his wife, Katie, and their 3 children. Tunnel to Towers honored Lieutenant Wells by paying off the family's mortgage in recognition of his sacrifices. Donate $11 monthly and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
So before we get to the Knicks and their Game 6 tonight, the Mets, you heard Heyman and Mendoza. I'm going to fire at Benigno, the WFAN legend, on every Saturday, now on with us weekly. Joe, I started this show today after I, got through Mamdani and King Charles and President Trump and the Strait of Hormuz and all those news stories. I binge-watched the Hulk Hogan special on Netflix. I've never been a big wrestling guy, but I did cover it for years down in Florida, CBS Sportsline. I've interviewed all of them, all the big ones, and I did love Hulk. And I found myself crying and really emotional during this Netflix piece. It's an amazing, amazing watch. I recommend it. You, Joe Benigno, you ever like professional wrestling?
Never a big wrestling guy, bro, to be very honest with you, I mean, I remember as a little kid, watching like Bruno Sammartino, going back 100 years ago, Bobo Brazil, I heard you mention that. But I was never really into, I have to tell
Never got into it even when President Trump had WrestleMania 4 or 5, whatever it was, in Atlantic City, or Mike Tyson was out there doing the Generation X, or Pete Rose, he was out there.
Lawrence, who, by the way, right now is, I guess he's in the hospital. I hope he's doing okay. He was into wrestling stuff too, Lawrence.
Yes, LT. He's in the hospital for about 2 weeks in New Jersey. He's got a stomach issue. Arthur Aidala told me it's not life-threatening, and he's going to be okay, but he's been in the hospital for quite some time. He fought Bam Bam Bigelow, if I remember correct. Oh, my God, I know way too much of this stuff. He fought really Bam Bam Bigelow.
I mean, for as smart a guy as you do know a little too much about it.
Well, I'll say this. You'll appreciate this, Joseph, because I'm a smart guy, right? I do news. I do politics.
Right.
The person that I know that knows more useless information than anybody else. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Iron Eagle.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right?
I could see it. What a great. By the way, let me just say this: Iron Eagle, who you can make a case is the premier announcer in sports today in this country. You could make that statement.
Well, he does NFL football for CBS, college basketball for CBS, the Nets, NBA.
The NBA now on Prime and all of that. No, he's tremendous.
He was doing U.S. Open tennis. He's a voice on the video games for years. So he is, and his kid, who also went to Syracuse, Noah's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's a great guy. I love Iron. But I love you the most, Joe. So let's get right to it. Before we get to the Knicks, you heard Heyman and Mendoza. Heyman goes, "Isn't it possible you guys just aren't very, very good?" Now, look. It's not Mendoza's fault. David Stearns put together a team of misfits. They're not good. But here's how it works. And you know this, too. You're a great radio guy. I'm the best radio host in the country. I'm saying that. May not be true, okay? Mm-hmm. But if my ratings aren't good, it doesn't matter how good I am. I'm going to get fired. So it doesn't matter whether you like Carlos Mendoza, you don't think it's his fault. At some point, the Mets have to make a statement, even if it is David Stern's fault, and do something, Steve Cohen, to make the fans feel like you actually care. So when you lose 16 of 19 games, whether it's Mendoza's fault or not, doesn't matter. They've now had a year and a half, basically a year. Had a good start last year. They've had a year of really bad baseball. Eventually, someone has to pay the price.
Well, the guy who should be paying the price is the genius who put the team together, Stearns.
You don't fire the GM before the manager, ever.
No, well, I mean, first of all, he should have never been the GM. If Steve Cohen listened to me, he would have never been the GM in the first place. I told you about this guy from day one. And nobody else said anything. I told you about this guy. He was way over his head. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. What he does in Milwaukee means nothing to me, and he never won anything there, by the way, in New York. But you're right. Look, Rob Thompson just got fired. Alex Cora just got fired. I think that, honestly, in a weird way, Sid, I think the fact that those two guys, getting fired in Boston and Philadelphia is kind of saving Mendoza a little bit right now. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense, but I will tell you this. I was watching Evan Roberts, your former partner on the band, and
I know he's very happy about what's happening
I
right
don't know, but he was high on bringing in Alex Cora, and then I'm watching Craig Carton like an hour later. He's got Philadelphia history. He was high on bringing in Rob Thompson. Would you like to see the Mets fire Mendoza and bring in one of those two guys? What's funny is they both got fired, Cora in Boston and Thompson in Philadelphia, because their teams are playing awful baseball. Why would you want that guy?
I don't want either of them. I honestly, I'm going to tell you the guy I want, okay? If Mendoza gets fired, to me, the guy I want is Carlos Beltran. And the reason I say that, Sid, first of all, he's a Met. They're going to retire his number this year. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He got screwed. Remember, the Mets made him the manager, how many years ago that was now, and he got hosed because of the whole ridiculous Houston cheating scandal. Everybody else, survived that, it seems, except for Beltran. That's the guy, he should have been the Met manager all along. So that's the guy I want to see as Met man. I don't want Rob Thompson. I don't want Alex Cora. I want Beltran. That's the guy I want.
That is a great answer. You're right. I mean, he got screwed. He hasn't been able to manage since. He was a manager for like 2 months, and they blew him out of there. But now you answer the question that John Heyman asked the manager. Are the Mets just a bad baseball team?
They stink, bro. They stink. The year's over now. They didn't even get to freaking May, and they're out of it. They're done. They got beat 14-2. Now these guys are, the genius brought Polanco in here. He's on the IL. Now I'm seeing where Louis Robert may be going on the IL. I mean, it's unbelievable. They re-signed Sean Manaea. He can't get me or you out. David Peterson stinks. Senga's done. I mean, they should have traded Senga in the offseason when there was teams that actually were interested in him. Yeah. Soto's is hit a little bit, but Soto, in any big spot, like there was the game Sunday, they had two guys on with one out, right? Soto's up. They didn't pitch to him. They didn't even come close to pitching to him. And then Robert and Vientos both struck out. They stink. And I want to see them, and I've said this before, and I'm a Met fan. It's a little difficult being a Met fan right now, and it has nothing to do with them stinking, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, that's what what you're talking about is the reason why I'm now a big-time Yankee fan.
The reason that you are now a Yankee fan. It's very difficult being a Met fan with all that garbage that has nothing to do with baseball going on. But you know what I want, Sid? I want to see them win 60 games, and I want Stearns out. Okay? I don't really care about Mendoza. Like I said, he's going to get fired eventually. It's amazing, like we said, he's still there. But I want Stearns out. Stearns destroyed this team. He got rid of Pete. He got rid of Nimmo. He got rid of McNeil. I know Diaz is hurt. He got rid of Diaz. It's a joke.
Well, by the way, Pete,
Steve Cohen.
Listen, before you get to Steve Cohen,
they're courtside during the Knicks games.
I know.
It makes me crazy.
And they lose. And they lose every time he goes. They lose. But just
they won the other night.
I know, but just so you know, Pete is really he may be on his way out of baseball. Alonso.
No.
It's been he the other day said, I don't even know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. You know what, though? But just because he's struggling right now in Baltimore, by the way, they play the Yankees this weekend. Just because he's struggling in Baltimore doesn't mean that would be happening here.
Right.
You know that's it.
No, of course.
I mean, right or wrong, I don't think he ever wanted to leave the Mets, but he left because they didn't even try to re-sign him.
No, I agree. No, you're doing.
This is the guy who has more home runs than any Met in history. And David Stearns couldn't wait to let the guy walk out the door. Please, the reason.
But I'm glad
we've gone through this. We've gone through it.
But I'm glad you said David Stearns because the truth is Stearns wanted to get rid of Alonso last year, and it was Steve Cohen. Cohen kept him here for one more year. That wasn't Cohen's fault. But I'm with you on Stearns. He stunk in Milwaukee. He stinks here. I have no idea why Cohen and others think he's some type of genius.
Right.
It's great to be a genius when you never win. I don't get that. Let me get to the Knicks. Game 6 tonight. They were down 2-1. Both of the games they lost by 1 point. I believe they had the last possession, if not in one, but both of those games. Either way, they had the
last possession in both of those games.
So either way, they've got a chance to win a game 6 on the road and move on to take on, in all likelihood, the Celtics, who are also one win away from eliminating the Philadelphia 76ers. What are your thoughts 5 games in this Knicks team, this playoff?
Well, they righted the ship. I mean, let's be honest, bro. The last 2 games, they blew the doors off the Hawks. I mean, the last 2 games, really, Atlanta was really never in the game. the game in Game 5. I mean, I don't think they ever got closer than 13 or 14 points. I feel very good about them. I think they're going to win tonight. I said this series would be a 6-game series all along. I think they'll win tonight. And the only team, and I really believe this, Sid, the only team that stands in the way of the Knicks getting to the NBA Finals is the Boston Celtics. Cleveland's a fraud team. I know they're up 3-2. Detroit's in trouble with Orlando, which I'm not surprised about. You know, the only team is Boston. And to me, that might as well be the Eastern Conference Final because the winner of that series is going to the finals. So, and I know Boston now, you know, look, they were up 3-1. They lost the other night. Embiid had a big game. Philadelphia won for the second time, actually, in Boston. I guess Game 6, I don't know if it's tonight. It might be tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure when it is. But that's it. That's what it comes down to, Sid. The only team that can beat the Knicks in the East is the Boston Celtics. Let the Knicks finish it off tonight. I really don't want to see a Game 7. Even if it gets to that, they're going to win. They're not going to lose this series. They're a far better team than the Hawks. And it comes down to the Celtics series. And I see where Josh Hart is a little banged up. I guess he's questionable whether or not he plays tonight. But either way, I feel good about this game tonight. I think they're ready to take care of business and end it tonight.
I really thought Josh Hart's playing the second quarter. I made that point before the New York Post did. What's the difference? He had a couple of steals. He had a big three, a couple of easy layups.
And also, you know, Brown made the switch, putting him on McCollum, who was killing the Knicks. And Hart now has been guarding them. And what do you have, 6 points in Game 5?
Yeah, no, he did nothing.
The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.